This week, Carmela, we are once again on a quest.
Oh, where are we going?
Well, this quest is about finding high-quality Pinot Noir at a price that will make you very happy.
Ooh, why me?
Well, I mean, what's better than getting a great wine at a great price?
I really don't know.
Well, you know, for somebody who's kind of cheap.
No, frugal.
Okay, frugal. Okay, so what do you
Frugal.
say? What do you say? We see how we did this time on finding some hidden gems.
Oh, let's do it.
Hello, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hello.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Do I need to change it up?
No,
now,
but
too?
you don't like the new hello.
No,
at all.
it throws me off.
I know,
I
it
don't
throws you off. Okay, a quick orientation for those of you who may be new to our podcast. In each episode, what we do is we learn about and taste and give our honest review of 3 wines that are reasonably priced, which means under $20, and should be easy for you to find, although this week we are stretching the price boundary just a touch. And our podcast is made for people like you and me, Carmela.
Woo, the best kind.
That's right. It's made for people who love wine, but want to learn more about wine and find new wines to explore and just feel more confident when we talk about and order wines.
Okay.
So if that sounds like you are in the right place, and we invite you to taste these wines or a Pinot Noir from your stash along with us while you listen as a fun way to participate. And
That's a great idea.
And as Carl would say, not while you're driving, though.
Yeah, not while you're driving.
No, that's right. And we are proud to say
important.
it is important. And we are proud to say that we are officially recommended by the editors of Decanter magazine from their October issue, who call us fun, irreverent,
Chatty.
and entertaining.
Woo.
Okay, Carmela, we are back to do a second episode in a series we will return to, I think, periodically, called High QPR Pinot Noir.
High quality H2O.
That's right. And we do
Couldn't resist.
we do this for this high quality or high QPR for Pinot Noir because it's a wine varietal that we love. Mm-hmm. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is QPR?
Yes, and tell me more.
Well, as we discussed in our first episode of this series, QPR stands for quality to price ratio.
Nice.
Right? And so a high QPR means for this price, this thing, in our case, a wine, has
really good quality.
Right, a quality that outweighs its price. And as we also mentioned the last time, you know, one person's QPR is not necessarily another person's QPR when it comes to things like cars or shoes or wine, right?
Right. No, it makes perfect sense.
But for us, the P in the QPR ratio is relatively fixed. And I say relatively because usually we try to stick to wines under $20. But as I mentioned a little bit earlier in this episode, and we will do this periodically, we do have a wine that costs more than $20.
Ooh.
I know. Are you mad about it?
No. I'm not mad about it.
Well,
I'm curious.
It's not a lot over $20.
Okay.
It's still it's a little more than $20.
How much?
Well, it's like $24. So that's not a lot.
Breaking the bank.
And frankly, we're going to need to do that sometimes because, let's face it,
Inflation.
inflation is a thing. And especially for Pinot Noirs, $20 is kind of a hard barrier
right.
to reach.
And we've been doing this a long time now.
That's right.
I mean, not a super long time, but enough.
We've been doing it for like decades.
I mean,
we were podcasting when they still called it radio.
What? We were not.
No. Okay, so high QPR for wine is kind of the theme of our podcast.
I love it.
Yeah, because we want to help you find wines, and we like to find wines that are delicious and fun and that you can find easily and that don't break the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say like high QPR wines is sort of why we do this podcast.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in general.
Yeah, exactly. And finding, I'll just say too, like for me, you know this about me, but like finding great wines around $20 has kind of always been my objective. That's kind of the bar that I set for wine. It's like, I don't really feel great. I don't love to spend more than $20. I'm frugal.
Yeah, well, true. But then you look at your wine collection and you go, oh, collectively, that's
I've got
a lot.
I've got a lot.
That's a lot. And
maybe keeping the level at $20 just makes me buy more.
More. Exactly.
Yeah,
I was going to say, maybe we should cut back the amount of wine you buy.
Oh, so you want me to buy more expensive wines?
No.
I love it.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here.
No,
she gave me permission
buddy,
to buy fewer but more expensive.
No, what I'm saying is we got a lot of wine in there. Maybe you just buy few bottles.
Oh, that's kind of boring. But okay, maybe.
I know they don't really sell them that way.
Yeah.
Typically.
No, not really. But, again, like coming back to this like $20 price point, I do think it's a good price point just because you don't feel terrible if you crack open a $20 bottle of wine. It's not like you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I better save this for a special occasion. You're like, I could drink this.
Well, and you can buy a bottle of wine and spend less than if you buy like 2 glasses of wine.
Exactly. When you're out on the town.
Right.
Like we always are.
We're just
out on the town.
Party.
Right. So another thing you're probably asking yourself, Carmela, is why are we focusing on high QPR Pinot Noirs and not other wines?
Well, we like Pinot Noir
That's right.
a lot.
So that's it.
And we buy it and we both drink it.
Yeah.
It's a red wine we both enjoy.
Exactly. So that's one reason. And the other reason is that Pinot Noir is actually one of the most expensive wines in the world. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But for now, let's just stick to why we love Pinot Noir. Let's talk about some of the reasons that we like it. What are some reasons that we like it?
Well, I think it's a little different than a typical red wine.
Why do you say that?
Well, it doesn't have the tannins or as strong of a flavor. It's a little lighter. We both love it.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. Like I
feel like it's not as like you don't have that big, bold, fruity.
Yeah, it's not what I would call like kind of a typical American wine.
Yes.
Yeah, so one of the reasons too is like it has nice fruit flavors. It's what I would call sort of bright and lively.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, I couldn't spit that out, but yes.
Yeah, but I think like your father we had dinner on Sunday night and we served a Pinot Noir and he's like, "What's the taste in there?" And I was like, "Oh, it's tart cherry." He's like, "Oh yeah, tart cherry." So it's kind of like a lighter, it's like
fresher
cherry candy, cherry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sometimes. And then another reason does have depth and complexity. Like if you get a good Pinot, it's got a lot going on, but it's not like super oaky. It's not super like punch you in the face with fruit flavor kind of thing. We don't tend to love.
It's a little more balanced.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little more medium bodied. It's a little bit. And so that's the third one is that it really goes well with food. It tends to be kind of a higher acid wine. Again, a medium bodied wine, which means
it's
it
not
won't
overpowering.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It won't overpower the food. And so I think it's a really versatile wine. So you can have it with red meat. You can have it with white meat. You can even have it with seafood in some cases. You can have it with pasta. You can have it with pizza. Like it's very versatile.
You can have it in
wine.
the kitchen. You can have it in the living room.
You can have it on the roof.
Dining room. It's
on
so
the
versatile.
doghouse. Yeah, exactly. So,
not in the car though. Remember, not in the car.
Well.
Well, you can bring it home in the car.
If you're sitting in a car at a drive-through or a drive-in, not a drive-through, but a drive-in, and you've gone to a drive-in restaurant, could you pop out your wine?
No, because you got to drive.
You would say no.
I mean, if it was like a car that was just broken down and wasn't going to move.
Okay, that's weird. That's weird, but okay.
I don't know what that means.
There you go. So anyway, just take our word for it. If you haven't tried Pinot Noir or you don't think you like Pinot Noir, you probably haven't just run into the right Pinot Noir yet.
With your car.
Yeah. That was good. That was good. Ding.
Really?
For Carmela. Yeah,
really?
yeah.
You thought it was funny?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Now, again, you can find good Pinot Noirs that are reasonably priced, as long as they're not from Burgundy, I think. If they're from Burgundy, they're going to be expensive.
Right.
And again, if you want to drink along with us, please do, as long as you're not driving. So I think it's time to find out more about why Pinot Noir can be so darn expensive.
Okay.
And what makes it such a popular wine, especially among wine nerds and wine snobs and wine geeks like me. But first,
you got to do your shameless plug.
That's right. So first, we want to start by saying thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And if you have not had the chance to do so yet, now would be an awesome time. I'm not going to say awesome.
Okay, good.
But an awesome time to subscribe to our podcast. It's a free way to support us, and you never have to miss a show. And thank you to all of you who have subscribed already. We do appreciate you.
We love you. You just looked like you were about to go, we love you. You just see him. He just clenched his fist like, we love you.
Like a little kid.
Yeah.
Okay, another great way to support us for free is to leave a nice rating and review on our website or on Apple Podcasts or other podcast service so people will go, hey, this looks like a good opportunity. You can also follow us and see fun pictures of the wines we're tasting and trying today on Instagram at the Wine Prep Podcast.
I don't know if they look at it and go, wow,
that was fun.
That's so fun.
I think this week they're going to be fun.
Okay.
I think you're going to look and you're going to go,
fun.
Dang, they are fun.
That is fun. Just
that
the
is
first
so
word is going to be
fun.
Fun. Wow. Fun.
Those are the freaking first.
Are they going to say funny?
Oh, No.
Fun.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Fun. I'll take fun. And you can visit us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should tell about the Wine Pair podcast. And this week, we want you to tell anyone who wants to love Pinot Noir, but has never been able to figure out why they don't love it, because we're going to make them love it.
Wow, you think that there are people that just don't like it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't have to. The thing is though, if somebody doesn't like it,
No, you have to make them. You have to force them. Yes.
you don't. Like,
Love is
whatever.
about forcing people.
Wow. Wow. I understand. I understand
She does
that
understand.
very
She
well.
was forced to marry me. It was an arranged marriage. Let's just put it that way. Okay.
I'm still trying
to
my
get
best.
out. How do I get out? No, okay. So, Carmela, let's talk about why you should care about Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Because I do. There are some people who just don't get it. They don't get it.
Well,
they
that's
don't understand what all the
again.
hubbub is about with Pinot Noir.
Okay.
And I think there's a few reasons for that. And I think one of it is like, it's a lighter style of red wine. I think some people are like, they just expect a big, bold
Right, I
red
was
wine.
going to say they might be like underwhelmed or because they're expecting something different.
Yeah, they're expecting to be like boom, like when they So I think that's one, and I think there is also a lot of crappy Pinot Noir out there, like Pinot Noir that's not kind of cheap, it's not made super well, and it doesn't really capture the essence of a Pinot Noir. And I do think sometimes, especially among some like in some areas of California in particular, and I think in Washington State as well, they kind of make their Pinots a little more Cabernet-like.
Well, wait, can I ask you a question? Who introduced you to Pinot Noir?
Here, meet Pinot Noir.
Hi.
You know what? I don't. I kind of introduced myself, I think, to Pinot Noir.
Oh, you're forward like that.
No, but like your father would talk about, the great Burgundies and this and that, and I never really had them. And all the wines that we were drinking with your dad were Italian wines. So I'm like, I want to, and I knew I didn't. I obviously tried Cabernet because you can get Cabernet everywhere, and I hadn't really tried Pinot Noir, so I just started trying it. So there you go. Now, Pinot Noir, for all of you out there and listening and who don't know this, you probably do know this, but it is considered one of the world's great wines. And some people might even call it the greatest of all wines.
Seriously?
Yeah, and it comes from one of the world's most famous, and some people might say the most famous wine growing region in the world, and that's Burgundy, France. And what's unique about red Burgundy wine, I think, is that it's almost exclusively 100% Pinot Noir. And that's unique in France because they do a lot of blending.
Blends, right.
Because the next most famous, arguably most famous wine region, or at least red wine region in France, is Bordeaux. And Bordeaux wines are usually a blend of wines that include things like Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot, and others, and can be many other wines. So probably, okay.
Any Pinot in those?
No,
In a
they
Bordeaux
don't.
ever?
No,
Okay.
that is not a Bordeaux wine. That is
Okay.
a Burgundy wine.
Only.
So probably the most famous wine in Burgundy is Domaine de la Romanée-Conti. And these wines are so precious that some people just collect them. Like they don't even drink them.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you, like here, it's
That's
crazy.
weird.
The vineyards of Romanée-Conti are listed in UNESCO as a World Heritage Site.
Oh,
Like that's how serious
my
it is.
goodness.
And there are 8 different wines produced by Domaine de la Romanée-Conti, and they come from 8 different plots, and they're each considered Grand Cru, and Grand Cru is the best of French wine. And for some of the most famous plots, the wines can be $20,000 or more right out of the gate.
and they just sit in the cellar.
Yeah, exactly. And a cheap wine from Romanée-Conti is like, $2,500.
My goodness.
So, and that's if you can find them, because they don't make a lot of wine. So another reason that the wine is considered so precious and expensive and everything is because it's scarce.
Wait, are the grapes scarce then?
Well, I'm going to get to that in a second.
Okay.
But they, in Romanée-Conti, they're super scarce. They only make 6,000 to 8,000 cases a year. That's not a lot of wine. And there are even years where they won't make any wine if they don't think it's high quality enough. So it's super scarce.
Wow.
And their wines are meant to age. So you kind of got to let them sit around. So you wouldn't open a great Burgundy unless it was at least like 15 to 20 years old. And so if you ever get a chance to try a DRC wine, which is what they call Domaine Romanée-Conti sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Then you are among the luckiest people in the world, and probably among the most wealthy
And have
people in the
you?
world. And if you are one of those people and you do have a Romani Conti, come, contact us. We'd love to share it with you.
Right.
Tell you what we think about it. We could rate it together. We could put it side by side with some of the wines we have tonight.
We'll give you
$20 for a tasting. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we would like to believe that you don't have to pay $20,000 to get a good Pinot Noir.
Especially if it's just going to sit in the cellar.
Exactly.
Holy
But now, let's not kid ourselves either. I'm not going to tell you that a $20 Pinot Noir is going to be close to the quality of a real French Burgundy Grand Cru.
Sure.
But I do think you can find a lot of really good Pinot Noirs in a lot of good places all over the world that are reasonably priced. Now, some are not super duper reasonably priced. So I just bought, you may not know this, Carmela, but I just bought my allocation of Domaine de la Côte, which is a California Pinot. It's not cheap, but it's not $20,000. Okay. It's not even close to that. But some of the other
There have been wine deliveries this week.
there
I'll
have,
you
but
all know.
this wine has not been delivered yet. I just purchased it.
more. And
But
I'll have to say, the guy who delivers,
he knows you by name.
yes, and he bangs on the door because, of course, somebody's got a sign, and he's like, hello, is anybody home? And then I have to go running to the door.
And they like ding dong, ding dong,
Yeah,
ding. I mean, if
over
you don't
and
get
over
there in a
again.
minute,
And then,
gone.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pick it
truly.
up.
He starts writing that little note that he's going to stick on our window. And I'm just like, I'm coming.
It's serious.
And it's the same
serious.
song and dance. He's like, here you go, sign your name. And then he's like running off to the next delivery.
But he'll be like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. See you soon.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so getting back to what you said, Carmela, about like, is it a rare grape? So it is another reason why Pinot Noir is so well regarded and so popular is because it's considered kind of a rare wine. Now, that's not to say you can't find Pinot Noir. It's not hard to find Pinot Noir, but it is hard to grow, and it's harder to make well than wines like Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot.
It's a little temperamental.
Actually, that's right. So first of all, Pinot Noir tends to be a low yield grape. So a low yield grape means that compared to other grapes, the number of grapes per cluster and the size of the grapes is smaller. So you just don't get as much per like plant or whatever. And like you said, it also tends to be finicky. It's thin skinned. So a lot of red wine grapes are thick skinned. They can hold up to extremes of temperature and rain and all sorts of stuff. Pinot Noir is like a thin-skinned grape.
Oh, God, it's just like a big pain in the butt.
It's a baby. It's like me.
grow
It's more
up.
sensitive. Now you're starting not to like it. No,
Yeah.
don't turn on it. It's like me. It's like your husband.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
more
yeah.
sensitive.
Again, forced.
It's more
Remember?
sensitive.
There's a forcing.
Would you rather have a tough-skinned husband or a sensitive husband?
Don't tempt me.
Oh, man.
No, I
Arranged
just
marriage.
want
Remember,
you.
arranged
I
marriage.
just want you.
Oh, God.
Okay,
People
okay.
are cringing right now. Okay.
At least you
can we
didn't say
get-
awesome-y.
Awesome-y,
So-
awesome. Okay. So anyway, it is more sensitive to the weather than other wine grapes, and it only grows in certain types of soil. And so if you're a winemaker, you do have to be really committed to growing and making Pinot Noir because it's kind of a pain in the ass.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I just never knew that.
Well, now you kind of know.
See?
There you go. So that's what makes it special. And that's why we made this series of episodes, so we can hopefully help you find some of these less expensive, but very good Pinot Noirs. And hopefully we found some. And so on that note, I think it's time to learn a little bit more about the wines we chose for this episode. Are you ready, Carmela?
I'm ready.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk.
How about you talk and I'll listen?
Because that's what
That's
you're
what
kind of forced to
usually
do on
happens.
this
Yeah.
on the podcast. Okay, anyway.
And I love it.
Do you though? Okay. So usually all the wines we would have chosen for this episode would be under $20, but this time around, again, because finding a good high QPR Pinot Noir under $20 is not super easy, and I'll be clear about that. It is not. One of our wines is more than $20. And incidentally, this is a wine that we had recently that I really liked and I did want to put on the podcast. So I was kind of like bound and determined that we're going to figure out a way to do it. And so the way it works is all three of the Pinot Noirs that we bought are under $60 in total. And so it averages out to actually less than $20 a bottle.
Okay,
So how
I'm
about
convinced.
that? So I think that
works.
counts.
That
right?
works. Yes.
Now, and all of them should be relatively easy to find because we got them all from wine.com. So if wine.com delivers to you, you can get these. And we're not sponsored by wine.com, but hey, if you're out there wine.com and you have a Romani Conti, we're open for business.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Now, all of these wines are also well rated by professional raters, including Wine Enthusiast and Wine Spectator and Wilfred Wong. And this is part of the criteria that I use when I'm selecting the wines to try to find the high QPR Pinot Noir is the price point, but also has somebody reputable other than James Suckling.
Jimmy.
Yeah, rated these wines with a decent rating.
Okay.
Right? James Suckling will rate anything.
90, 91.
Yeah, it could be like toilet water and be like, oh, it's deep and complex. 90 points. Okay. So the first wine that we're trying is actually our least expensive wine. And it comes from France.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm going to butcher the name, but it is Bouchard et Fil Héritage du Conseiller Pinot Noir. And if you want to know how it's spelled, you're going to have to go to the website and look at it.
I think that was lovely.
Yes, thank you. It does have some 89-point ratings from Wine Enthusiast and Wilfred Wong. And I wanted to see if we could bring in a Pinot Noir from France, because that's really the homeland for the grape Pinot Noir. And I was like, this wine is $11.
My goodness.
From France. I know.
I'm interested in this.
Yeah. And now some other interesting things about this wine, and this may make you like this wine. We'll see. The winery says that they only age the wine for 4 months, and only one of those months is on wood, and the last 3 months are in stainless steel. So I'm expecting this to be a pretty fresh wine, a pretty vibrant Pinot Noir. Probably should be drunk young. It's a screw cap, so there's that. And because there isn't a ton of oak aging, I don't think it's going to age super well. I think it's going to be one that you just want to crack open and drink, and that's okay.
Ooh.
Like sometimes you don't want to put something in your cellar or your wine closet for a year,
unless it's
or 5 years,
$20,000.
or 20. Yeah, sometimes you just want to go, I want to pay $11 and be able to drink this wine.
Right
okay. Now, another interesting thing about this wine that the winery suggests is they suggest serving the wine at 61 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, I was going to ask you about temperature with Pinots.
Now, Pinot, you can serve. So what I would say is you can serve them cool. I don't think you should serve them refrigerator temperature. I think you can serve them cellar temperature.
Okay, but this one is 61 degrees.
That was what was funny. They're very specific. 61 degrees Fahrenheit
it to the winemakers.
or 16 degrees Celsius. So that seemed very exact.
Funny. So how
I think
are we doing? How are we doing with that tonight?
Probably fine, because I did pull it out of our wine cellar closet.
And it's definitely not super warm.
No, it's probably
here.
in the 60 degree-ish range. So it's going to be fine. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean you have to put it in the fridge and cool it down. It's just like you probably shouldn't leave it sitting out in the sun for a while.
Right.
Okay, so that's it.
No wine you should.
No, but I mean, especially a Pinot, you're going to cook it. Like, it's just not going to taste great.
Okay.
The next wine is called Montinore Estate Red Cap Pinot Noir. And yes, it does have a red cap. And that red cap is also a screw cap. Woo! And this one snuck just under the $20 range because it was on sale, and that's okay with us. But the other thing is I did see it when we were in Costco. So we went to Costco this weekend. I saw this wine at Costco, and it was actually cheaper. It was like $15 at Costco. So if you can find it there, buy it. Maybe if we think it's good. This wine is a Willamette Valley wine, so Oregon wine. And Willamette Valley is considered to be one of the primary Pinot Noir growing regions, not just in the United States, but outside of Burgundy. And it's actually at the same latitude as Burgundy in France. And it has a similar climate. So that's why it's considered like sort of a more Burgundy-like place to grow and make wines. This wine did receive a 92 rating.
Oh, wow.
From James Suckling.
Yeah.
But it did get a 90 rating from Wine Spectator, and they called it one of their top 10 value wines of 2022.
Oh my goodness.
So this could be, I mean, talk about high quality QPR. If we like this one, high quality QPR is like baked into it.
Okay.
Baked.
Wow, baked. Okay.
Okay. And then this wine also has a symbol. Baked. You're just like troubled by that. Okay. This wine also has a symbol on it called Live Certified Sustainable. And Live, L-I-V-E, it's a Pacific Northwest thing. We're in the Pacific Northwest. It's a nonprofit that gives certification for environmentally and socially responsible wine growing. And that includes not just the farming, but things like their labor practices, packaging, etc. So I think that's cool. That's
just for wine?
Just,
Live
yes.
is just a wine thing.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
You tested me.
Sorry.
I don't know. Okay. Now, the last wine we're trying is one that went over our $20 threshold. But again, just barely over. And I told you about this. I remember tasting it. So we were at our friends, Jason and Lori Lewis, their son Nate's bar mitzvah a few months ago.
So fun.
It was super fun.
Beautiful.
And they were serving wine. And I was like, oh, they're serving a Pinot Noir. I'm like super excited. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. We'll see. And I tried it. And I remember thinking, this is a good wine.
Oh,
like
wow.
this is some good juice.
Right.
So it's called BloodRoot. and it comes from Sonoma County in California, and it's a blend of different Pinot Noir grapes, evidently from about 15 different cool climate vineyards, and I do like cool climate in Sonoma County, and that's probably one of the reasons that they can produce a pretty good Pinot Noir at a reasonable price, because if it's a single vineyard, a lot of times they'll charge more for that. Now, this wine is aged for 18 months in French oak. 20% of that oak is new, so it should have some good tannins, but because it's French oak is a little more mellow than American oak. It'll be probably, hopefully, a little bit more mellow. And they also use sustainable farming practices, and I think that's something we're starting to see more and more.
Yeah.
Now, I love this that I found out about the wine. Listen to this, Carmen.
Okay.
Ready? BloodRoot is a secret collaboration between acclaimed winemakers. This group has deep contacts in vineyard sourcing, which they knew would create great wines for relatively modest prices. This group is it's like a secret society.
I was just going to say.
This group is also masterful at creating blends. They want to be anonymous because they have other projects where they sell wines for 4 to 5 times as much money, with scores from critics in the 95 to 100 point range.
What?
I know, and it made me not just James Suckling.
Oh my! I mean, that'll make you want to buy and try.
When I read that, I was like, "Oh, I'm interested."
We want to be part of the secret society.
I know, and ChatGPT wouldn't even tell me who.
Are
makes
you
it.
kidding?
No.
They have a deal with ChatGPT.
Yeah, to keep them secret.
Holy cow.
Right. So this, again, feels like a perfect target for a high QPR Pinot Noir. And evidently, we're drinking the 2021. And so the wine that we're drinking is just their 4th release of this wine. They've only been doing this for a few years. So it'll be fun to see if this wine kind of grows over time.
I'm excited.
So I think that's enough information, Carmela.
My head is like,
should we start drinking?
I'm ready.
Okay. Give us a minute. We'll be right back. You don't even need a minute. It's like 3 seconds.
Right.
Give us a little time. We'll be right back, and drink along with us if you got a Pinot Noir. And
you're not in the car.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, we are back, and we are ready to try our first Pinot Noir of the evening. This is called a Bouchard et Fils Héritage du Conseiller Pinot Noir.
Oh my goodness! Have you been practicing that all week?
I thought it's terrible. It's terrible.
No.
Okay, it's from France. The producer is Bouchard et Fils. It's a 2020. This was only $10.99 at wine.com.
Holy cow!
It's 14% alcohol. It's 100% Pinot Noir. And again, Wilfred Wong, who's part of wine.com and
Willie.
wine.
Can we call him Willie?
Sure.
Jimmy and Willie.
No, they're different. And then Wine Enthusiasts also gave it. They both gave it an 89. So what are you smelling?
It's so funny because it smells like church in this room. I'm smelling
because I burnt
candles and he blew out the candles.
But
anyway,
I do think there's a little earth. There might even be a little smoke or matchstick in this.
A little bit of smoke is what I'm getting, and I don't know if it's from the candles, but
no, I'm getting earth. I'm getting like that earthy kind of smell. Sometimes
grass, even like,
or sometimes say
soil.
mushroomy.
Okay, like umami.
I got a little bit of that. I am also getting some fruit, like some cherry.
I'm getting a little bit of that tart cherry on this. Yeah,
like a little bit of a cherry. Maraschino cherry or something, like almost a liquored cherry.
Kind of. Yeah, like a stewed cherry, but it's more of a tart or
what's reminding me of? Actually, now that I already said that, is like, those cherry cordial candies?
Ooh, those are so good with the chocolate.
But doesn't you think it's got a little bit of smell like that?
I love those. I think some people really don't like them.
No, some people hate them. I love them too.
I love them.
Don't you think it? Don't you think it kind of smells like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Or like a chocolate
even with
candy
that cocoa,
with a little alcohol in it.
Yeah.
It's got a little chocolatey smell.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, let's taste it.
Okay.
It's earthy.
It's earthy and it's tart.
I'm getting more earth than tart.
Ooh, you're not getting the tart?
I'm getting some tartness to it, but I just feel like it's pretty earthy, which is fine. Like, I think that's that can be a complexity of flavor that people like. It's been open. I will say we opened these a little bit early, so it's been sitting around for about, half an hour open. So it's had time to breathe.
Yeah, I'm getting that earth too. I'm getting some some soil.
It is tart. It's almost not even tart cherry. It's almost like a tart
plum
or
pomegranate
or cranberry or something.
Oh yeah, something tart, red, in a little bit crunchy.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure it's a cherry though.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not terribly fruity.
Is it like raspberry? Is that too much?
No, maybe it's definitely got a bite to it.
Yeah.
Rawr.
Okay, well, what food might you eat with this Pinot Noir?
I actually think it'd be better with food.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
And remember, wine is the 5th food group.
Right. So you're going to want to have this with food. Anyway.
What food might you have with it?
Well, I think, you know what? I don't know why this came to mind, but I think it would be good with like a pork tenderloin.
Ooh,
is that weird?
no.
I don't know. Like
That's
that
a great
sounds
call.
kind of good to me.
Pork. This would
Pork
be really
tenderloin
good with
like
pork.
potatoes, like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't pork.
Well, this is where I think the versatility of a Pinot Noir comes in, because I could see this with like spicy Asian food. You know, I was thinking like a grilled cheese too. Like, I don't know why that came to my mind. Like a grilled cheese and tomato soup would be really good.
Oh, it would be really good. Yeah. Or even like a baked brie, like something. There's something about this with warm.
I agree.
Foods would be nice.
It kind of feels more like a fall wine. Like this might be a pretty good like Thanksgiving kind of wine, where you know you can have it with Thanksgiving dinner. It's kind of light,
turkey in a like a thick gravy dressing.
I actually think it would do really well with stuffing and with potatoes and, you know, cheesy gratin.
Ooh,
it'd be good.
Ooh, potatoes delicious.
I think it's a nice wine. It's a nice wine.
It's
light.
Yes.
It's kind of, you know, medium bodied.
It has some of the qualities of a Pinot that we like.
Well, it is a Pinot.
Well, right. But I mean, saying it just, you know, it definitely is hitting some of the marks that we like in a wine and in a Pinot.
Yeah. I would just say overall for me, it doesn't have enough flavor. Like it doesn't have enough that
complexity,
that cherry flavor. I really enjoy that cherry flavor.
Yes.
So let's rate this wine. And as a reminder for all of you, our friends out there, our rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10. No halves. You have to do whole numbers. And a 7 and above means that we'd buy it, and a 4 and below means we're probably going to pour it down the sink, and a 5 or a 6 means, you know, we're going to drink it. It's good. We'll finish it. We'll keep drinking it, but we're probably not going to buy it. And if there was something better, maybe we'd choose that other thing, or we'd keep looking around a little bit. Maybe not commit or get married until we're ready, and you know, not fall into an arranged marriage with this wine.
I know.
But
sometimes you don't have a choice, and you know you're
you just have to keep drinking the same wine year after year,
so that
after
you can
year.
like cope and deal. And
okay, what rating would you give this wine?
I'm kind of going back and forth because we drink Pinot. Like we really, it's one of our
we almost it's like water. We've got a tap. We have a tap.
I mean, like
it's
morning,
called
noon, and night.
Water. Hot, cold water, or Pinot.
Exactly. So I'm having a little bit of trouble. I think I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah, I think I'm 6 as well. I'm tempted to give it a 5. I don't think it's not bad. I drink it. I'm enjoying it. But I mean, as far as Pinots go, there's other Pinots I like way better.
Yes.
About the same price point, too.
And that's why it's challenging for us, because like I do think if somebody had this and does not have experience with a Pinot,
they might not love it.
They may not. And we're, you know, and I think there are qualities that we like about it. But so anyway, I'm 6. You're a 5 or a 6?
No, I'm a 6. Okay. I'm going to go with a 6. I do think it's a food wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Okay, we're going to take a break and we're going to try our next wine.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we're ready to try our next wine. This is the Montinore Estate Red Cap Pinot Noir, and it is a red cap. It's a red screw cap.
It's pretty. I like the label. It's kind of cool with the roots. And
the label's cool. I will say, too, that last wine that we had, the bottle was cool. It was kind of in this embossed bottle. It had
glass,
kind of it was nice. It was nice. But let's talk about, again, the Montinore. So this is from Oregon, the Willamette Valley. The producer is Montinore Estate. It's a 2019. It was $19.99 on sale. It's usually $30 at wine.com. It was $19.99, but again, I saw it at Costco for like $15. We got this at wine.com. It's 13.2% alcohol. It's 100% Pinot Noir. James Suckling gave it a 92. And Wine Spectator, again, gave it a 90 and called it one of the top value wines of 2022. But what are you smelling, Carmela?
Wow.
It's funky.
It is a little funky. It's a little musty.
It's very musty.
It's earthy. I mean, it still kind of has like that cellar, like down in the
Super
basement, like
earthy.
a damp basement.
I hope it's not turned.
Uh-oh. Well, let's see.
It's got a nice color, though. Like, it doesn't have the color of a turned wine, so I don't think so. It doesn't have a ton of cherry, or like a fruit or cherry on it. It's almost like mushroom, basement. It's very earthy. I guess if I don't swirl it so hard and I just kind of let it sit, I'm getting a little black
more,
fruit.
Yeah, and it's a little more subtle. Like, it doesn't, I don't know that. Yeah, I think you're right. The swirling is actually
making it worse.
Yeah. Bringing out a little bit of more of an offensive smell.
Yeah, I think so. Let's try it and see what we think. It's got nice flavor.
Ooh.
It's much better in the mouth. It does have a little kind of like a astringent. It's got kind of this astringent aftertaste to it. It's kind of cleaning off the mouth. It's a little alcohol-y.
Yeah, and it's not as high alcohol as that first one.
No, it's not. It's 13.2. It doesn't, I mean, it cleans off the tongue, but it's not like an awesome, it's not like, sometimes they talk about length in a wine. I don't feel like this wine has a lot of length, and it doesn't have a ton of fruit either.
No, it's a little basic for a Pinot. Like,
wow.
Oh, I know. If that was our daughter saying it, we'd be like, oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. That's rude.
Yeah. But no, but it is. It's not like, actually, I like the taste much better than the smell. Like you said, it's better in the mouth. But it's just sort of, it's not knocking my socks off.
No, it's got like on the front of the palate, this is such a nerdy wine thing, but like when you first taste it, I do taste that cherry fruit, almost candy, almost cherry candy, but not quite. But then it just like, it kind of lingers to almost very tannic, tea-like, astringent kind of end to it that I don't love. Yeah. I just don't love it.
It's a little herby even too.
Yeah, herby. I agree. Like herbaceous. No, but like yeah, it almost like I'm almost getting kind of like, I don't know if rosemary's right, but like tarragon or something, like some sort of like
you just
spice.
Pulled from the garden.
Yeah, like some kind of dried herb. It does have like a dried herb.
Okay.
Keep getting tarragon. I don't even know what tarragon tastes like.
You just wanted to say that.
Yeah, tarragon. It made me sound cool.
So people go, oh, tarragon.
No. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a very earthy tasting dried herb. Yeah.
I would say the same.
What would you eat with this wine? I think you need food with this wine.
Yeah, these are both that way. Well, I think you could do a red meat with it for sure. Like I don't think you don't need to do like the big, maybe juicy steak or cheeseburger.
But I actually think you could.
I think charcuterie would be nice with it though too.
I agree, but I also think this is like a cheeseburger wine.
Oh, okay.
It's nice. It's like I think with a nice charred, like if you had a grilled or charred meat, I think it would actually taste really nice with this wine.
Okay. See, and I'm not the big meat eater.
No.
But I could see this. I could see this, though, with like, for some reason, I'm seeing, even like grilled vegetables, though.
Yeah.
Like the charred, like you're saying.
Charred, don't you get like, because there is almost there's a little smoke, there's a little wood, there's a little bit of a charred taste on the wine.
Yeah, a little bit. No, I think you're right.
I wonder if this wine was impacted by smoke.
I don't know.
Remember a couple years ago, there was so much smoke.
Right, and this was Oregon, so we were getting a ton of fires.
I wonder if it's smoke tainted. I'm being very honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. I wonder.
Because it's a 2019. I kind of think it was a couple of years ago.
Well, we had a couple years in a row, too.
That were really smoky.
That's
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, but okay.
Now that I'm smelling it, because remember we were saying like a matchstick or something. I'm getting that on this one, too.
Yeah.
Now it's in my head. I can't get it out.
Well, again, it's like we're at church. I can smell that.
Wow.
No.
Hallelujah.
Oh my God. Just in time for Easter. It's just about Easter in our household.
Oh.
No, but it is. So anyway, back to eating. Whoa. No, but I could also, I could definitely see that charred, vegetables.
Tapping her fingers is
ding, 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 ding.
Making noise.
Yeah. No, but then again, like I said, I'm kind of digging like a whole.
Digging.
Like, again, like meats and cheeses and.
You like the charcuterie idea.
I do.
You're kind of on that. You won't let go of that.
Okay.
You're like a dog on a bone.
I'm not going to be eating a cheeseburger. Probably.
Why not?
I mean, I'll have one every once in a while, but unless it's a Dick's cheeseburger.
Oh man,
and you only know Dick's. You just don't really eat Dick's burgers for dinner, or we don't. Do we?
I would. That's weird. It is kind of a lunch thing.
For us,
I would totally eat Dick's for dinner.
People that are not from Seattle, people just look up Dick's.
Dick's Drive-In. Get your minds out of the gutter.
Yeah, it's a burger joint.
It's a delicious burger joint.
So good. We're might have to have them with this Pinot.
I might. Okay. I'm also getting a little perfumey kind of smell.
Okay. Yeah, the smell is actually
potpourri.
Improved.
It's a little potpourri.
Little rose. What rating are you going to give this wine?
I'm kind of still on a 6.
I think I am too.
I like it. I drink it. It's not like, It's not wowing me yet.
Yeah.
To me, this isn't like, we haven't quite yet hit that high QPR Pinot Noir. Because I'm like, I can get other wines for this for $19.99, or it's normally $30. Like, I can get better wines than that, this.
Again, and we're huge critics when it comes to Pinot because we're
hard on it.
Yeah.
It's like one of our children. Like, you got to be great. You can't just be good.
Right.
B's are not okay. You have to get A's.
All the time. Don't bring me a B.
Don't bring me flowers. Wow. You don't bring me flowers.
Oh my God.
I don't know what is going on tonight.
You just want to sing.
Off.
You just want to sing.
And things are not right, and I don't know what's going on.
Okay, we better move on.
We're going to wrap this up.
I'm taking the reins,
and
buddy.
We're going to try our last wine. Give us a second. Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our last wine. This is the BloodRoot Pinot Noir. It's from Sonoma, California. The producer is BloodRoot. This is a 2021, so it's pretty young. This was the most expensive one. It was $24.99. We got it at wine.com. It's 13.4% alcohol. It's 100% Pinot Noir. And Wilfred Wong gave this one a 92. Previous vintages have also gotten good ratings, but Wilfred Wong gave us 92, which is a pretty high rating. So what are you smelling?
This smells much more like a typical Pinot.
Right off the bat, cherry, almost like a stewed cherry or a cooked cherry.
It's a little subtler of a smell. It's not quite as tart smelling out of the gate.
It's got a little earth to it. Like, I can smell a little complexity in it, a little earth, maybe a little wood. I'm getting a little wood on it, I think, but not a ton.
Kind of a little bit of licorice, too.
Totally licorice.
You know?
Totally red. Like that good Australian red licorice.
Right. Exactly. Soft, red, delicious licorice. It's very nice.
Okay. I think we try it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
It's a good wine.
It's good juice.
It is a good one. I can taste the fruit.
Yeah.
I can taste the cherry.
Taste cherry. It's nice. It's got a nice finish on it.
It's not oaky. Like,
it's not,
oaky.
but it's got oak.
It
like,
does,
you
but
can
not
get it's almost like a little kiss of oak on it.
Wow.
No, it's got like enough oak to give it some body.
Right. But
and it
balanced.
and you can actually taste like a little, like, I think somebody who likes, this is not a big bodied wine. So don't get confused. Like, this is not going to be like a Cabernet, but it does have a little bit of that vanilla kind of, don't you feel like that vanilla that you get from oak?
Right. And it's smooth, so much
super
smoother than the first two. I hate to compare.
No, but that's what we do.
Yeah.
It's got a nice finish. It's not overpowering, but it's got great flavor. Starts nice, ends nice, still cleans the tongue, got good acidity.
I was just going to say, still has a nice acidity, which we like. It's not overpowering. It'd be great with food.
I'm telling you, when we were at the bar mitzvah, I was like, this is a good wine.
Yeah,
like,
that was...
I drank a lot of this wine.
Woo!
I was super happy about it. And this is the secret one.
I was super drunk.
I was super drunk at a child's bar mitzvah. It was totally appropriate. I was like, move out of the way, kids. I'm dancing now. They put me up on the chair.
No, they did not.
No, they didn't.
You were hoping.
That was one of the most fun parties I've ever been to.
Oh, it was so much fun.
If you've never been to a bar mitzvah, this is the first one I've ever been to. And actually, we only went to the party. Yeah. But, sorry, Jason and Lori and Nate and Haley. But it was so fun because the party was all about the kids.
Right.
So they had a DJ that was all about the kids, and the party was all about the kids. The wine was all about the adults.
But they kept the adults happy. Like, the adults were happy. And it was
super fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And they have this wine, and it's good.
And now it's on the podcast. It's really nice. What would you eat with it, honey? What did we have that night? Ooh, there was such a huge menu.
I'm trying to remember. We had pasta. I think we had chicken. It would go great with chicken.
It would.
But it would go great with red meat. Like, I could see actually a nice, filet mignon, like a really nice cut of meat.
Yeah, you could do a nice meal with this, too. Like,
you could do a nice
fancy
medium
meal.
rare, steak or something would be really good. Flank, a grilled flank would be good.
So good.
Teriyaki flank would be really good. Mm-hmm. What else?
Oh, you could do, like, any type of pasta dish, like a bolognese or a puttanesca.
Ooh, yeah.
There's a little spice on that.
You could have a little spicy on it. Mm-hmm.
Pizza. You could do pizza.
Burgers. I think this is a super versatile wine. Very food friendly. It's
very
an
Joe
excellent-
friendly.
It's like me. It's a little sensitive.
Wow.
It's thoughtful. It's kind. It forced his wife to marry it.
Oh,
No.
what?
No, that's
What?
No, my parents did. Actually, it was just my mom.
Yeah.
No,
Your dad didn't want me to marry you.
no.
No.
That's a whole other story. Yeah. No, there's no story there. Okay, stop. Okay. Anyway, any other foods?
I think we covered a lot, but you're right. It's very versatile. You could have a lot
Super.
with this. You could have that charcuterie board.
You're right. I think so. Okay, let's. What rating would you give this wine?
Okay, so I think that I'm going to give it. I'm struggling between like a 7 and an 8. I'd probably give it an 8.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving it an 8. I'm super tempted to give it a 9.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
give it a 9. I
You do
really
love
like
it.
it.
You
I
do love
really.
it. Yeah.
It's just a nice. Like for me, like this is a very good, high quality. This is a high QPR Pinot Noir. Now, is it a Burgundy, like a Grand Cru Burgundy? No, but for $20, 20-ish bucks. This is an excellent wine.
Yes.
I think it's a really good
Yeah.
wine.
It's
a wine that I would serve to a lot of people and feel really good about.
Yeah, this would be a great crowd pleasing wine
Yeah.
too.
So I'm giving it a 9. I could probably go between 8 and 9, but I'm just going for it.
Okay.
I'm going to go for it.
I'm giving it an 8.
Yeah.
I think I was being a little bit, when I was first giving the rating, I was a little hesitant, but no, I'm happy with this.
And I do think it is hard to find a good Pinot Noir at a low price. It is.
Yes.
And so this is a great option.
It's really nice.
And so I don't think we have to ask too much, but which one are you finishing tonight? The blood.
We're arm wrestling
We're both
for
doing
the
the blood
root.
Okay, let's talk about the taste profiles expected from a Pinot Noir. Carmela, what do you say?
I want to, yes.
Okay, this is from Wine Folly. Cherry, raspberry, clove, mushroom, vanilla. There you go. And when it's from France, mushroom, cranberry, plum sauce, pastille candy. It's like a gummy candy. Hibiscus. The Central Coast of California. Raspberry sauce, plum, gunsmoke, vanilla, allspice. Okay, the Bouchard. The winery says, delicate aromas of cherry and coffee with subtle integrated toasted notes. Flavors of chocolate are emphasized by a hint of menthol lying on silky tannins. Wilfred Wong, this wine exhibits aromas and flavors of red and blue fruits with a hint of spice. Wine enthusiasts, cherry, pomegranate, cranberry, and bramble aromas leap from the glass. The wine offers tart acid and juicy cranberry and pomegranate up front, joined with gentle pepper spice tones in the mid-palate. So I think we got a bunch of those.
Yeah, we actually did. Mm-hmm.
And actually the chocolate. Didn't we say chocolate?
We did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Montinore, the winery says Bing cherry, red plum, stewed fruit, and a whiff of geranium.
And you were getting that.
Yeah, introduce a mouthful of Marionberry, cherry, and sun-dried tomato. That's interesting.
Okay. That earthy taste.
Earthy,
I think
for
it's
sure.
sun-dried tomato.
But also smoke.
True.
Okay.
Yes.
Jimmy Suckling, ripe strawberry and orange peel aromas. What the hell? Orange
don't
peel.
know. I didn't get that at all.
He is a hack. Okay, Wine Spectator. Vibrant and snappy, expressive sweet cherry blossom, cranberry, and rose petal accents.
Okay.
Because we were getting a little rose on the end, too.
Right. Well, you were talking potpourri, and
Yeah.
then we went,
For
I
sure.
said the rose. Okay.
Yeah, BloodRoot. This is a bright, light, and quite pretty iteration with aromas of raspberry and Bing cherry and a hint of oak, clove, and rhubarb. The palate is moderate in weight with good acid and a flavor set of red berry and spice. Wilfred Wong said, this wine excels with aromas of dried herbs, spices, red cherries, and hints of oak. Totally agree with that. So what do you think, Carmela?
Oh, I'm happy about this.
I think this is a good example. It's hard to find high QPR Pinot Noirs, partially because we're picky, but partially because I think it's just a hard wine to find.
Right.
Like it's difficult to find. But I do think this BloodRoot winner.
I feel like too we did the homework. Like hopefully it's helpful, because if you're looking for one, if you've listened to this, hopefully you go right to the BloodRoot. And if it's not your, if you don't
Cup of
agree,
tea.
Exactly, cup of wine, a glass of wine. Then if it's not something typically that you will like, or you don't always agree with us, then you've got a couple of other.
You know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So nice.
All right. Well, Carmela, it's just about time for us to go. But before we do, we want to thank you all very much for listening to us. And if you haven't done so yet, now would be a really great time to subscribe to our podcast, and a really nice time to leave us a rating and review on our website or Apple Podcasts or anything like that. And a great way to support us for free, because we need the support. I need support.
Wow, it's good to have. You know what?
You need support.
Everybody needs a little support.
You will be my support animals.
Well,
How about
Emotional support.
Emotional support people.
People.
There you
not
go.
pet.
No.
People.
No, exactly.
Unless pets listen. I don't know.
Maybe dogs are listening. I don't know. We'd also love to hear from you and maybe about a wine you want us to taste or review. So you can leave a message for us on our website at thewinepairpodcast.com, or you can email us at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can follow us on Instagram at thewinepairpodcast. And again, next time you listen to an episode, drink along with us. How about that? And then maybe tell your mom about it. Maybe drink with your mom along with us to the podcast. How about that? Or your
love
dad. We're always leaving the dads out.
Right.
How about your aunt? Or your uncle?
Right.
Cousin. Cousin. Your favorite cousin. Your least favorite cousin.
True.
How
It
about
might
that?
bring you together. You might find you have something in common.
Finally.
Or at the end, you might just want to punch them out.
Right, but you'll be drunk and it'll be fine.
Right. See,
and
that's
nobody
what
will
happens.
remember.
Either when you're drunk, you either want to hug and kiss and, no, I love you so much. Or you're like, I can't
Get
stand
out.
you. Boom.
Yeah, exactly. And then you throw up. Okay.
Oh,
All right. With
man.
that, we're going to sign off. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time. And as we say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The ending at the end of our story. Always think too much, always drink too much, always pray too much.